Welcome in, boys and girls. This is the NAO Show. This is the one I know two very particular listeners are hoping to listen to. Mike, sorry, dude. It's okay. We still love you here on the NAO Show. You're still a
Man,
fantastic fantasy owner.
I won.
But
I know we don't talk about other leagues on the show, but I won two
never,
other
ever.
championships last week, and I don't even care. I just wanted this one.
So what you're
I wanted
saying
this
is
one.
you were spread
Oh,
too thin to pull out the W this week.
Well, the greatest rock band of all time. You guys know who it is. He said 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I love that band.
I love that band. And for our wonderful listeners, we have what is going to be the biggest slaughter in fantasy history that is going to be known forever as the 2022 Pro Bowl in the NAO. All right.
Don't look at the fourth screen until we get there.
Yeah, you're not allowed to look at the fourth screen until we get there. But
You can look at the top
welcome
part.
in, Marky Mark. Welcome in, Tank Top Mark. Mike.
Tank Top Mark.
Tank Top Mark.
Marky Mike and Tank Top Mark. All right.
How we doing?
Doing pretty well, man. Usually it's the players' names you're getting wrong. Now you're screwing up your showmate names. That's
Yeah, I'm
great.
just drinking water. That's why.
Could be it. Could be it. Mike, you repped us well, man. You repped the show well.
Yeah,
Got there
man.
again, man. Got there again.
He had 2 in a row. Like on the what was it? The 91, the 92 Bills now. So
There you
it's
go.
93, 94 to go. I guess.
You are the Jim Kelly of the NAO.
Yeah.
You've gotta have had the best overarching team in the last 3 years of the NAO, right? There's no other team that even comes close.
I mean, I was kind of bummed. I was saving some of this for the matchup, I guess. But like Mahomes was a number 1 QB. I had the number 1, number 2 running backs. Diggs was a top 4. Like I had all these top guys and just
That's why we
sure.
play the game.
Yeah.
All right, Marky Mark, let's get into this thing.
All right. Yeah, we'll start off with that championship score. Congratulations to the DBs. They got it this year. 154 to 115 over Tank Top Mike. Yeah, man. The Diggs, man. He hurt a lot of people, in the playoffs and in the championship. If you got to the championship with him, then you may have lost too. I don't know. Yeah, and I'm wondering, like, people that are in championships this coming weekend, is Diggs in any of them? Because I know that killed a lot of people that were riding his coattails all year, man. So that was definitely a tough break for you.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of squeaky wheel going on. I think Diggs got a little upset because the last few weeks he's been down pretty more than normal anyway. So I think Josh Allen actually had to say something about it after the game.
I don't think he was the only person that you're riding into the playoffs with. Josh Jacobs. I mean, he's going freaking ham for a few weeks, and then he just falls off a freaking cliff.
I mean, last week against Goofy, I was 0 for 3 on lineup decisions, and this week I nailed every single one that I was making anyway. Like I was never going to bench Jacobs, obviously, but like, yeah, Jacobs and Diggs and Swift are directly why I lost. I blame them all equally.
Yeah. I mean, starting DJ Moore was pretty gutsy, I thought, and it came through well for you. And then Ingram, running it back with Ingram when you didn't know if you can trust him or not, man.
Yeah.
And I thought it might be a Taysom Hill day because of the weather in Cleveland. I thought, well, maybe they'll just do a lot of wildcat and put Taysom back there a lot, let him run the ball. And Taysom had a decent day, but Ingram was a good call there, and he didn't hurt you at all.
Yeah, those were both big balls moves.
It was. I wanted to spread out. Or
I think
Kamara had the bad weather game, or with Taysom, so I didn't want both in a bad weather game.
Yeah, that makes sense,
so
man. It makes sense.
Yeah.
The DBs, I mean, they had a great great week. When they needed to hit, they hit. I mean, Lamb had a 30-point game, well, 29-point game. And then Hawkinson had a 29-point game.
Yeah, I'll tell you all the bitching that freaking Evan has done about Dak Prescott. You know, I want you to put it in chat, Evan, how much you love Dak. You gave him enough crap, man. But who did you ride to the championship this week? Let me know that in chat. Let me know. I'm looking forward to your answer.
28 points from the Dak attack.
Yeah. And that stack with CD, man. I mean, that was nice. 29 from CD. Dude.
But yeah, man, congratulations to both the teams making it to the championship. Special congratulations to the DBs for getting over the hump and getting that first title. Good job, y'all.
Now they get
Now,
the fancy. They have the fancy thing on their name already in chat.
yeah.
Yeah, they get the little gold tinfoil thing, put up there by them. So.
And they chat more than Aaron did, so we have to see it more often.
I was actually pretty surprised that both of them got it on Sleeper.
When I get it, I'm gonna make my my avatar just a blink black background, so it'll show up really nice.
All right, let's get into the next one there, Primo.
Yeah, in the consolation match here for number 3 and 4, we got Crew 118, Goofy effing Jace 91. So Goofy kind of he made it into the playoffs. He overcame a lot of the injuries, but in the playoffs itself, it seems like things just kind of caught up with him, unfortunately. Crew didn't have a great score, but he got enough to get it done. What do you think, guys?
Go ahead there, Mike.
Yeah, both of these guys in the playoffs. No, Ian had a fine week last week, didn't he? No, he lost, so it couldn't have been that great.
Who'd he lose to there, Tank Top?
Yeah, the DBs crushed him.
Yeah, he lost JT in that game, so he didn't have a great one then either. I can go back and check the score while you guys talk amongst yourselves.
Herbert only had 5.5 points.
Yeah, that's
how are you supposed to win a game at 5.5 points?
It's crazy because like Eckler and Keenan Allen had great games, and then Herbert ends up with 5.
Yeah.
Ian rounded up had 121 in the first round of playoffs after losing JT, so that wasn't bad. I mean, but
I think that a real question that's been circling though, fantasy communities, is Herbert still a top 5 quarterback in fantasy? Yeah. I mean, his stats might be, or like, I know he's actually QB 11 right now, but like, is he still a top 5 dynasty quarterback?
Well, I mean, over half the season, he didn't have any of his wide receivers. I think he needs a wide receiver.
Throwing too. Kelsey, that's about it.
Good point, man. Good point.
And then the ghost of Packers past, really? That's about
it's Mahomes is throwing to Kelsey and some dudes, and seems to be doing just fine.
Yeah.
I will say though that he's got I think his line situation is better than Herbert. So for me with Herbert, it comes down to the offensive line. A lot of injuries this year. Does he, maybe he needs that to be good? To me, it looks like he's bailing too quickly. The last few games I've watched him, it seems like he's feeling pressure sometimes when it's not even there, and he's bailing quickly. But I mean, if I'd had 17 ribs broken like him, I may be the same way. But he's getting paid a lot of money to stay out there and stay in that pocket, and he seems to be trying to escape when there's sometimes there's really no reason. Maybe rushing some throws. So we'll have to see if he can progress beyond that this year or next year. I'm sorry.
Sean, you look like you're reading something real,
Yeah.
real intent here.
Yeah, I was I was thinking about something that we were talking about at the beginning of the season, actually, about Waller, and I was trying to figure out how many points he's had since he came back, which isn't a lot, and how big of a move it was for him to actually play him after on his second freaking start when they were playing Pittsburgh. And the first game he came back, he was 100% touchdown dependent to break double figures. I thought it was a pretty ballsy move to start him, but I mean, it's tight end, so there's not a whole heck of a lot other ones. But on his lineup alone, Pat Fryermuth broke double digits. Not saying that would have been the difference, but I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, well, you would think it's that Waller, after the first week where he scored a touchdown, he played 49% of snaps. You would think, okay, it's going to increase. He'll do a little better. He actually played 40% of the snaps in his second game back. So he dropped down in snaps a little bit. He had more targets, but then he didn't get the touchdown. So and we've seen what's happened this week in Las Vegas, and I guess we can kind of attribute that more to that being kind of a shit show there than Waller not being back up to speed.
And then I'm looking at what he paid to get him, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yikes.
That's why I was saying last week, man, all that you spent on him, you may as well put him in the lineup, right? But
great point.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
that's what he was thinking.
And I can't fault him for doing it this week. That Jamal Williams, man, killed him. How solid has Jamal been all year? And now he puts up a goose egg when he needs him most. That one certainly hurt. Aaron Jones was hurt and in and out a little bit too, so not a lot going right for him. Dobbins was down.
It was a Gus Bus week, wasn't it?
Yeah, more than Dobbins, but Dobbins just, Dobbins doesn't need a lot of. He hasn't needed a lot of touches to do well, but he wasn't so efficient this week against Atlanta, who, gosh, seems, doesn't it kill you when the one where he should smash, he doesn't, and you go out there against a tough defense and he puts up 120 yards, so kind of weird, man. Kind of weird.
All right.
Anything else to look at here? I don't see too much. Barkley looking good though. Barkley coming back strong for him there. After losing JT, it must have been nice to get something out of Barkley.
I got some Barkley stock in another league.
There you go. All right, we'll go on to the Who Cares Bowl.
I'll show you. We're going to Who Cares Bowl.
Yeah.
We have the Prince 149, the A Bombers 93.
Jeez.
So you put up 300 in 2 weeks there, Sean. Got to feel good when it didn't count, right?
Oh, it's amazing. Let me tell you.
What's your record since the Chase trade, though? That's what I'm keeping track of.
That's the more important thing.
That baby.
All right.
Damn. 4-0 since the Trace trade. I think the best thing that's happened since the Who Cares Ball is me being able to tell Landon that he couldn't put up 300 points in 5 weeks, even if he set his best freaking lineup.
Yeah, poor A-Bomb, man. Finished up.
No. We do not say poor A-Bomb on this show.
That guy
got into the playoffs by the skin of his freaking teeth last year, and then had the gall to win with Berrios and Rex Burkhead on his freaking starting lineup. So there's no poor A-Bomb on this show.
It's all about playing chess, man. He almost did it again this year, but
yeah,
he just kind of fizzled out down the stretch there, man.
Yeah, whatever's going on with Mike Evans, that hurt him. I think that was he had a lot of issues in the end of the season, but whatever's going on with Mike Evans, I think was his biggest thing.
Yeah.
Tom Brady sucks. That is what is wrong with Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Tom Brady sucks.
6.9 points between Mike Evans and Devontae Adams. That sucks.
Yeah, that's
That
horrible,
hurts.
man. And
Oh, yeah.
again, Adams, carried a lot of people to the playoffs and let them all down when he got there. I mean, he was bad. The last 2 weeks, he was bad. And I looked at a graphic just a couple of days ago. Yards leaders in the NFL amongst receivers, and he's in the top 10. But which is pretty amazing if you think about the last 2 weeks. You'd think he might have fallen out of that top 10, but he's still there. So that's how much he was killing it.
He's still on track to break 1,000 yards and keep his perfect record intact.
Are you talking about Evans now, or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's he
okay. I was
need?
talking about Adams.
Um,
Yeah, I was talking about
He's at-
Devontae Adams there.
Yeah, Evans is at 917.
Interesting. So would you play? Asking for a friend. Would you play Evans this week, thinking that, hey man, we got to get Evans his 1,000 yards, man. We can't break a streak.
Well,
What?
I've seen them actively feed the ball to him to get the streak.
Streak
So,
going, man.
Well, it's not like they didn't. I mean, he had 8 targets this last week, 3 catches.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's not like he's not getting targets.
Yeah.
It's
they're
just
not great though. They're not.
I was gonna
great.
say the quality of targets is definitely down. Yeah, Brady's hearing footsteps this year too, man. He's just not making throws like he normally does, man.
Well, our offensive line is
Yeah,
just
no, definitely.
god awful.
But yeah, we're in the past where he could cover some deficiencies in the line by making good throws and good reads. He doesn't seem to be doing that this year. So
We just got to get into the playoffs, and then playoff Brady will show up, and the regular
Honestly,
season
that's-
Brady will go home.
I mean, I've told you before. I think it was about 2-3 weeks ago. I told this to you, Sean. Like, we're on track for the Bucks to host the Cowboys in the playoffs.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like once it's the playoffs, I don't care. Like it's Tom Brady. Like it sucks.
yeah, right. In Tampa, we saw how they're still those fans still get up for the games.
Ryan Jensen is on track to come back too.
The Bucks fans make it to the game, but they leave before the last drive, and then they get yelled at.
Yeah,
By random people.
it was still pretty loud, man. I every once in a while I watch that video of that last drive. It's inspiring, man. People going crazy around us anyway.
It took me 3 days to get my voice back.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right, let's find out who gets the Miyagi Bowl.
Yeah, man. Gosh, I've done all 3 levels this year. In this league. I was in the playoffs the first year. I lost the who cares last year to my buddy Sean here. This year I finally came out on top. I am the king of the bottom 4. I said that a few weeks ago, and man, I made good on it. So it was the Hoosier Daddies 121 FNG 94. So I won the right to the number 1 draft pick.
Did you know?
I did. Sure would be nice if I had my number 1 draft pick. But I digress.
Going into the matchup going, I can't lose. I get both first and second.
Yeah.
So y'all giving me shit about getting all these draft picks. Guess who has 1 and 2, baby?
Yeah. Well, all I can say about mine is that I was looking so good at halftime of the Miami game last week. I was at 125 and some change. I was being projected to score 141 points, and I'm like, all right, man, I'm finishing out in good style here. By the time the Miami game was done and the Denver game was done, I was down to 120 points. How do you go a full game and a half of football and lose freaking 5 points, man? So I was just like, of course, man. Of course. Why would I think I'm going to break 140? Pipe dream, man. So, but I held on. I was like, I'll screw up and lose this freaking game to FNG now. Fortunately, I got enough to hold on. So,
Do you have any of your later round picks?
I think I've got my 5th round pick this year.
That doesn't help you much.
So I do have the first pick in the 5th round, damn it. But yeah, the rest of my picks are Dylan's. And I think my first pick's the 3rd round. So I'll be, as I've told you, Sean, I'm going to be whining and dining FNG, try to butter him up, you know.
I think it's gonna be good. I think if you pour it on nice, he might do something for you.
I got a few tricks up my sleeve. The draft's a ways away. I still have a chance to get my 1st round pick back.
Marky Mark is gonna play the slow game and kind of wheel and deal on the side.
It's gonna start with the gift basket when we get back to work after the first here. So I'll keep you posted. So,
Keep our fellow listeners up to date on where you stand throughout the off season.
all right. Well, and not too much to say about it. You guys got anything to say about the matchup? I mean, not much going on there. I mean,
I do have one thing, actually.
yeah, let's hear it.
I think it was pretty cool seeing that you had everybody that you got from the Chase trade. Pretty much, you started them all season, I think. I think that'd be kind of interesting to figure out the points because Chase has been doing well, but you started all 3 of those guys, and they've been doing pretty well for you all season. So
Yeah,
that's it. Put that on the list to revisit. I think.
yeah, true. Cool. Talking about the numbers game, let's see how my 3 do against the 1. Yeah.
I think for me, after the Chase trade, Chase was going to be solid, obviously, but Devontae Smith has really come on the last 4 or 5 weeks. It has been.
We already talked about your team, damn it.
It's not all about you. It's not all about you, Sean.
We already talked about your team, damn it.
Very true, though. I mean, Devontae has been coming on. I think maybe some of it was because Goddard was out there. You know, he was out for a while. But he's been awesome for sure.
Speaking of Dallas Goddard.
Hell yeah, he's my favorite tight end I've ever seen.
And being awesome.
Yeah, I'm missing something here. What are we talking about?
Let's go ahead and move into this big old Pro Bowl.
All right, man.
Everybody look at the 4th screen now.
Yeah.
You have the permission to look at it now.
The production value is not as high as when Evan is on the show, but look at the 4th screen, please.
I mean, look at his spreadsheet though. Evan's spreadsheet is freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, I just want to point out it's pretty obvious that Ian very quickly copied Evan's spreadsheet because he didn't do the color coding, he didn't do any of that stuff.
I mean, it's kind of it's bad form for Ian to do that. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
Freaking Evan spent all this time setting up this nice Pro Bowl drop-down spreadsheet for us so we can be efficient. Yet again, our lineup was done in like 40 minutes, FYI, everyone.
We did.
And look at that. He just kind of copies and pastes. Lame. You can't really expect anything less from him, though. All right, so how do we want to do this? You want to go player by player, or do you want to go team by team? Anyway, we cut it. It's going to come out that the nameless fantasy champs is yet again going to be champs again.
I'm just looking at the spreadsheet a little bit here, so it would have been nice if he'd had the matchups in, green, red, and orange. Would have been a nice touch to have. I did it. I haven't looked at it a lot. Does drop downs have alphabetical order? That if he didn't, that'd be kind of nice too. But it looks pretty good. I mean, I'll give Evan some credit there. It looks pretty good, but I think he can improve on it a little bit.
Maybe if you put 1 ounce of effort into it.
I'm just saying, yeah. I mean, it's good, but there's certainly some room for improvement. So we'll make sure if Evan doesn't, I'm sure Evan's going to listen to the show. He'll get these tips and he'll make it better for next season.
Yeah. Thank God we have Evan in the league.
Yeah. I mean, was there ever a better roster lineup announcement than what Evan put together today?
Golly, they were all just absolutely phenomenal. Top notch level of announcing. And then you got the freaking professor over here trying to be all cool doing his, and it was all just real lame.
I liked his Nick Chubb. No, you idiot. We're not doing Nick Chubb. That's how that team was.
The infighting has already started. Thank God. The infighting has already started.
That's I'll gotta give Professor a little break there because we had our lineup set, and then A-Bomb comes in at the last moment saying, "What did I miss? Let's talk it out." So it was basically Ian and Landon and I had made all the decisions, and we weren't hearing a thing from Dylan and A-Bomb, and then A-Bomb finally came back in. So there was a few lineup changes at the last moment there. And
what were the lineup changes?
There may be some more. Well, we got Zeke in there, so that meant we had to take Chubb out. So,
with Tony Pollard being out, I think that's a good play.
Yeah. I mean, we were going to go Pollard too, but we're going to go Pollard and Connor from Dylan's roster. But when Pollard got ruled out, we had Chubb, and then we decided to go Zeke. So, it wasn't all Landon's fault, man. He was just reading off what we had put down there. I mean, and I didn't. I'm gonna go back and watch the videos. I didn't watch any of those videos. I was hurriedly trying to get our lineup in, so I typed in our final lineup, and then I got out and went ghost again, and I was keeping up a little bit here and there, and I saw that going on. So
speaking of going ghost, I think everyone else saw it, but I think we need to announce it in on the show is that we killed Dylan's battery just by notifications. That has got to be something, right? How many things are sitting here chatting so much that we kill somebody's battery?
When I went to catch up this morning on all the chat, I had 330 new notifications. I purposely didn't open it. I want to see just how many were there before I had a chance to sit down and catch up. And then that was a chore, man. If I wasn't commissioner, I wouldn't have done that shit.
Mark just the chat and goes #didn't read.
Yeah, #didn't see that. Yeah, that was crazy, man. That was crazy.
So, Marky Mark, if you could pick one person from your lineup going into the Pro Bowl that you are most worried about, who is it and why?
Probably Jacoby, just because his
the guy you picked twice to be in the lineup.
Yeah.
He was in the lineup twice. Let's just all put that out there on the record. He was a flex play and a wide receiver play.
Oh, was he? Yeah, that was one of the things that had to change, of course. But his target share has gone down a little bit, and I'm not sure exactly why that is. I know that New England's offense is so hot and cold right now, and I don't know why he's kind of decreased in that. And he's been injured a little bit, so there's a lot of reasons right there. It's like, is it going to be a good Mac day or a bad Mac day? Because there's been both, and is he going to get that target share back up? Is he healthy? So it's yeah, he's definitely one that's a little bit of a worry. How about you guys? You guys don't have anybody in there you're worried about, right?
I was gonna ask Tank Top, which one do you
Just so confident?
Which one do you think is gonna not score 20 points?
Jeez.
20 points. All of them going to get 20 points.
Unfortunately, I think just by, it's a strong group. But if I had to pick one, we've already established that Tom Brady's not playing his best ball. I think Chris Godwin, I think he falls into the 15 to 17 point range.
Yeah.
But not bad for a flex, I'll take that.
Not bad for a flex. I mean, he's our second flex too. He's kind of down there on the depth chart. He's just kind of getting in there, you know. He's not a bad shoring up the flex kind of guy, you know.
How confident you guys are you guys in Goddard there? New Orleans has been really good against tight end, man.
Goddard is going to have 2 touchdowns and 60 yards.
I think
Okay.
they have who we don't know who's playing. If Hurts plays, I think Goddard actually drops slightly. I think he has 2 touchdowns, maybe about 30, 40 yards.
Okay.
But if Minshew plays, fire him up.
Woo! Wheels up, baby. Let's go.
I don't know,
I'm just worried that tonight's game, the Cowboys are going to pull their defense before the game's over. I don't think that's ever happened, but it could.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about that too. I mean, it looks like the Cowboys should just whip up on them, but then, how hard do they have to play actually, and what, is there a lot of running, and it's just kind of one of those boring games? Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I've always been rooting for Micah Parsons, but I'm going to be rooting for him even more tonight. He's going to single-handedly get us 10 points with 5 sacks and a couple fumble recoveries, you know. It'll be fantastic. I think it was so easy to put this Pro Bowl winning lineup together that I felt bad going through the selections today. And I was like, man, maybe we should only play half a team, or maybe we should give them 6 flex players and maybe they can come back and be somewhat close to us. What do you think there, Marky Mark? Do you need some you need a handicap?
That's why we play the games, man. We deliberated, we made good decisions, we made group decisions. I'm very proud of my
Jacoby Myers on your lineup. You have good decisions.
Tell you what, take 3 of the bottom 4 and see what you can do. What are you gonna do if you lose, man? Gonna have egg all over your face, man. If you lose with 3 of the bottom 4 in there. I mean, it's a little bit challenging. So yeah, we wanted to take, there was three rosters that we wanted to take 3 or 4 guys from, but we can only get 2. So you got to be creative. You got to do your homework. My guys, man, we got together and talked it out. I'm proud of them. I mean, Dylan was not as active, but he got in there. But I know Dylan's got a lot on his plate, but A-Bomb, man, A-Bomb, he's not always as active in some of these chats, but he came in, man. He came in the last minute today, and that's why we made lineup changes. And I trust his ass because he's done it with some waiver wire darlings, man. When he came in and said, "Hey, man, what do you guys think about Davis?" Like, I'm not crazy about it, but it's you, A-Bomb. So let's go with Davis.
He's pulled a rabbit out of his ass while the rabbit wanted another rabbit.
I'm saying, man. I'm saying.
I like
when he came in and said, "What do you think about this?" I'm like, "Giddy up, man. Let's get a sexy Rexy going on here."
After tonight's game, because FNG's a little quiet guy. His contribution: the Cowboys are a good start this week, and then we never heard from him again.
Dropped in, said that, he's dropped out, and he's like,
"Dude, you had to be clutching your heart though, like, oh, wow, that's as much as he's ever said."
There was never another question about who we were starting.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh man.
He said Dallas is going to be a good start, and we were like, done.
Evan didn't even include other defenses in the drop down. It's just the Cowboys.
I'll tell you what I'm loving here, man. We got the two games with the highest over under is Cincy Buffalo. We got Josh Allen going in that one, and then Detroit Chicago. That's actually the highest over under. Playing at home in the dome. Goff's splits at home are just sweet as can be. We got Amon-Ra there as a wide receiver 1. So we got two players. You want to put players in there that are in these, perceived high scoring games. I mean, if Vegas is betting on it, then you can bet on it. So I'm loving that, and I'm loving having Kelsey in the flex, and still getting Kittle in there.
Fucking Kelsey. I got
When
big.
you guys said that's our first tight end, I figured it was going to be Kelsey and Kittle for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
This has to be a first time that we're flexing 2 tight ends in the Pro Bowl, huh?
Well, I mean, Kittle's been on a roll, and I mean, Kelsey's, that top 10 list I saw in receiving yards, Kelsey's on there, man, and amongst all those other stud wide receivers. So, I mean, you can't treat him like a tight end, really. Treat him like a really good flex. I mean, we could have put him in tight end and maybe tried to gain advantage somewhere else, but Kittle's been on a tear with Purdy, so let's see if we can ride that train one more week.
It's going to be interesting seeing how this all lays out because I think the over under on our team is like plus 60. We could break 200 and get like 210, 220 points easy. I wouldn't even be shocked if we break 200.
When I click on the Pro Bowl lineup screen, the video blocks out our projection. I see your projection is 161.73. What's ours there?
133.11.
Wow.
Just like what Evan said in the chat, it was a lot higher projection than I had anticipated.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
This is shaping up kind of like the tortoise and the hare. I don't know if you guys know that old story, but this is shaping up like the tortoise and the hare. You guys are getting cocky. You're gonna take a nap before you get to the finish line, and you may just wake up and see that you guys lost. So.
Well, I don't want to give it away too much here, because I think Evan's still working on it. But it's a really good thing we can't add people off the waiver wire right now.
I still don't know what's going on with that, but was he going to put somebody in the lineup?
We don't need to work too hard
wire?
on the waiver wire pickups. It's fine how it is.
Was he going to put someone in there from the waiver wire? Is that the joke here? I made that same joke today. I said for Landon, we're going to start the Jags defense and whoever the best guy he picked up off waivers this week. Hey, if you look at it, we got Zonovan Knight in there, Zonhovian. He's a waiver wire pickup. So
like what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, but that's how you win these things this time of year, man. You ride the hot hand. So he wasn't too hot last week. He'll come back good this week playing against Seattle. Oh yeah, it'd be good.
The fun part is that this lineup, when we beat you, we could just probably come back next year and do the same thing, run it all back.
All right, man. We'll see. Are there any plays in there that you have any thoughts about switching somebody out? I don't know if I don't think you guys got any injury concerns, but anybody in there where you're like, we may put somebody else in if there's a situation arise, because we've got one right now.
We wanted our first quarterback selection was actually Jalen Hurts, and then
okay.
He's been messing around. He's playing with a first team offense like in practice right now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think no, actually it was we pretty much settled on this one. Actually, I think.
Yeah, it was started. We started with Hurts in the lineup, and then with him having the injury, we were like, all right, let's start up an alternate lineup just in case he doesn't play. And then it turns out that the lineup that we came up with as our alternate, everybody loved more than the lineup we had with in it. So
yeah, we all kind of made it separate, like the four of us, I guess, like Brandon and Evan, but like we all made it separate, and it was almost identical across all of them. So we're like, all right,
cool.
Here we go.
Yeah.
But there's Eckler he hurt his knee late in the fourth quarter on Monday, and then he came back in though, and then scored. And now he's been limited all week in practice. But I think if he went back in, I think obviously they're just resting him because this is a game that they want to win. They're in the playoffs, but they want to win for sure. So I think he's fine.
Yeah, he came up gimpy, and but being a running back, I'm not too concerned about him. I think they're just resting him,
Mm-hmm.
just letting. And I think it'll be one of those where I think the playoffs are more important. He could sit if he's not feeling 100%. It's going to be up to him, I think. And I don't think he'll do anything. I think he'll do what's best for playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he'll go in there and risk getting hurt in a game that doesn't matter now that they're already in. Who would y'all put in if Eckler's out?
I think we were toying with Jacobs, but we didn't feel all that great about that. So it would
Yeah,
it would it would change some things definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, because we're
that'd be
flexing
interesting.
3 wide receivers.
Yeah, but yeah, there's not like you can just put somebody up from the flex spot. That'd be interesting. I think we're in good shape. You said Connor was out with an illness. I feel like he'll play. I guess if he's out, we probably just bump Zonovan up there into the running back spot. We've been talking about Romeo Dubs because Christian Watson may not play, so Dubs could be a good play. He had a pretty, since he's been back from injuries, kind of been slowly ascending, and last week it kind of looked like he's about ready to come back in there and start doing some things. So we
Well,
were
you
talking
guys are going to
about
look
Dubs
real
maybe.
foolish when Bo Melton goes off for the Packers this week. You look at Isaiah Pacheco, and that's the wide receiver version right there is Bo Melton.
I was wondering if you could name the college he came from off the top of your head. So, but yeah, he's one of these Rutgers guys, man. Well, it's going to be interesting, man. You guys are getting cocky on us, but this is why they play the games. Crazy
I'll tell
things
you
happen.
what, the last few days, it's been heating up in the chat over the Pro Bowl, and the best thing is like our team was talking shit to your team, and it's just like
Yeah.
there's really nothing on the line for this but bragging rights, but we're taking it so damn serious, and that's the best part of the league. Like this
Yeah.
whole league in general is that we take it very serious, but it's all for good fun,
Yeah.
Like, fuck you guys, we're gonna win, but like it'll be fun just putting these Pro Bowls together and getting it going.
I like that it sort of replaced the rivalry week that we couldn't quite fit into the schedule. It's just this instead.
And I think it's better. I think it's way better.
Yeah.
I think so too. And when you mentioned it last year, Mike, I thought it was cool. You said you saw it somewhere else, I
Yeah,
think, but
yeah.
I thought it was the coolest thing. I think we kind of rushed it together at the end of the season, and we did it, but we didn't. It didn't really fully set in until this year, I think. You know, after going through it last year, because I'll tell you what, man, Ian was on us like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I
It's
was
like,
gonna ask. I was gonna ask when you guys started yours because we did ours. What was I think just yesterday, right, Sean? You were like, "Hey,
Yeah.
can you message in the chat? I can't find it." So we started yesterday.
he was honest, man. He was like, MFers, we lost this effing game. We're not gonna lose. I'm not gonna, he was like going on.
He's
And
trying to he's trying to rally the troops 3 weeks out, and here we are like, we should probably put a lineup together now.
Yeah,
All right.
I started it and said it's Pro Bowl time and we don't lose, and then 24 hours later we had a lineup.
yeah, that's pretty cool, man. Well, dude, he came at us on Christmas Day, and I'm like, dude, and he was getting I won't mention names, but there were three of us who had submitted our lineup ideas. Maybe no, it was two of us. Two of us that had submitted lineup ideas, three that hadn't. And he came on and he said, "I'm really disappointed, man. Well, there's only two of us that made our lineup suggestions." And he was just going on. I was like, "Dude, are you really doing this on Christmas Day?" So
His
I
kids
was
are
like,
just in
"Talk
the
to me
corner.
tomorrow, man." Huh?
His kids are just in the corner waiting to open presents, and he's doing
Yeah.
Pro Bowl
And he's
stuff.
like, wait. These MFers need to get on here and do
I
this.
got more pressing issues, kids. Give me a moment. I'm sorry.
And I can
Yeah.
freaking wait right now.
Yeah. So now I will say, the day after Christmas, I got busy and I got pushing a little bit more too, and we got things going. And I really am proud of our guys because last year we didn't have great participation, but this year, yeah, it's like the stakes are higher, man. It's like we get it now, you know. And this has been a great thing. It's a fun way to finish out the season, especially since we don't do our championship in week 17 like a lot of leagues. So this is freaking awesome, man.
I'm okay with not doing the championship in week 15 if this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
it makes
is
it fun.
fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the when Josh and I started the league, Josh was adamant he only wanted 4 teams in the playoffs so that it was hard to get there and it was more appreciated, you know. He wanted you to have to work to get there. And I have to say I think it's a good format because yeah, you appreciate it, you work harder, and if you got a group of 10 guys that are competitive, you know, they're busting ass the next season and try to get there because you know, especially those guys that just missed it, you know. So
My byline is that close. that is my byline for this freaking league. That close.
yes, yeah,
Every
missed
year.
it by that much. That was the old Maxwell Smart, right? Yeah.
All right, y'all. That was our show. Congratulations to the DBs once again. You guys are champs for the 22 season. I think I can collectively say from the whole league that we are already way over your bullshit, and we're not even going into the offseason. So, if you've ever seen this show, you know how it ends. Ian, you suck.